my name is Gina, and I'm here with Chef Paul Mattison. Chef Paul, if you don't mind, I would like to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
What inspired you to become a chef?
Well, when I was young, I used to cook with my grandmother, an Italian grandmother that I grew up with. She used to babysit for me. I used to hang out with her a lot at her house. And she loved to cook, and she loved to do gardening, and so she was a big inspiration to me, and I always liked cooking with her. And then when I was in high school, I wanted to get a job, and so I started working in a restaurant, being a busboy and washing dishes. And I worked for a great guy named Simeon, and I worked for him for about 4 or 5 years, and that's when I realized I wanted to be in the restaurant business, and I wanted to take this career seriously. So that's how I ended up doing this and becoming a chef.
Did you create Mattisons, or was it passed on from an older relative?
No, I created it. I'm the only Mattison involved in the restaurant, although I have brothers and sisters, but I'm the only one that's involved in the restaurant. I have only one partner, and he's just a really good friend of mine. We were best friends growing up, and he's not in the restaurant business. He's in the computer business, but he wanted to get into the restaurant business, and he said, come on, let's open a restaurant together, and let's call it Mattisons. So we did.
How long have you been a chef?
I have been a chef for about 30 years, since I was born.
Did you have to go to college to become a chef?
You know, I don't think you have to go to college to be a chef. A lot of people can learn how to be a chef just by working in the industry, but I did both. I've worked in the industry for many years, but I also did go to culinary school, chef's college basically, and learned all the particular details about how to be a professional chef.
What is your favorite dish that you've made?
That's a tough choice. I like so many things as a chef, and I get to taste everything, so I like it all. But I think one of my favorite things are soft shell crabs. It's the time of the year when the Maryland blue crab molts its shell, and so the new shell that's starting to grow is still very soft, and you can saute the whole crab and eat the whole thing, and you don't have to worry about getting the shells off the crab, and it's really yummy.
How old were you when you made your first dish by yourself?
I think probably about 10 years old or so. Like I said, I used to cook with my grandmother when I was little, and I think I was probably about 10 when I started to do little things that she taught me all by myself.
Did your relatives teach you any of your famous recipes?
Oh yes, there's one recipe on our menu. It's an appetizer, and it's called artichokes Esther. Esther was my grandmother's name, so I named that dish after her because she used to make these artichokes, and they were so good. She'd take them and she'd dip them in a little flour and some egg and cook them in a pan and some olive oil, and they were so yummy, and it's what made me love artichokes. And so when I created that dish for the restaurant, I named it after her because she really taught me how to make it.
What dish did you recommend for customers that come into your restaurant?
Well, it's a tough choice. I always tell people it depends on what you like. We have a lot of great fish. My favorite seafood dish that we have is the ahi tuna. And if you like beef, well, I like ribeye steaks myself, so if you want a good steak, the ribeyes are great. And I also like duck and lamb, so those are two of my other favorite dishes that I always tell people to try.
Do you cook at home?
I cook at home sometimes. My wife cooks too. So sometimes she cooks dinner, and then sometime I'll get home and help her finish it, like make a special sauce to go on it or something. And then sometime I cook at home. I'd say maybe once a week or so. Most nights I'm in the restaurants being busy.
What dish is your least favorite?
What dish is my least favorite dish? The dirty dishes that have to be washed. I don't like washing dishes.
What is your favorite cook when you were growing up?
My favorite cook when I was growing up, and this goes back to my grandmother again, we used to watch this show on TV, and it was about a chef called, he had a special name, and I can't remember what it is now, but he was from Louisiana, and his name was Justin Wilson, and he used to cook all this really fun New Orleans and Louisiana style food, and he was on TV years ago, even before the Food Network and chefs got really popular. So he kind of has been my favorite over the years, old Justin Wilson.
What is your favorite part about your job?
My favorite part about my job is it's a little bit different every day. With 3 different restaurants and a busy catering company, things are always really different. We do a lot of weddings and a lot of special parties, so every day we get to kind of go, what's going to happen today? It might be different than what it was yesterday, and that always keeps it interesting, that it's always new and fresh.
How many restaurants do you own?
3.
That's cool. What can you tell kids at home if they want to be a chef?
Make sure that you really love it, whatever you decide to do. If you want to be a chef, make sure you love being a chef. Make sure you like the restaurant business, because sometimes it's a lot of long hours, and it's not the easiest business. It's a lot of hard work. So make sure you really like it before you go into it. And if you don't like it and you like something else, I just think it's really important to pick something that you really enjoy doing, because work is a big part of your life. So you got to pick something you like doing. There's nothing worse than waking up in the morning and going, I don't want to go to work today. You want to be happy. You want to love what you do.
Well, thank you, Paul Mattison, for letting us ask you a few questions. For Girl TV, I'm Gina.